My name is Nikhil Mandalaparthy, and I'm the Advocacy Director with Hindus for Human Rights. And I'll be speaking very briefly on one main point, which I hope the following speakers will all be elaborating on, that the declining democracy and human rights violations in Uttar Pradesh are having a ripple effect that is threatening India as a whole. As Rashid just said, this is a state whose population is larger than most countries in the world. And so it's extra important that we're all paying attention to what's happening there. Now, the international community has noted the steep decline in India's democracy over recent years. As many of you may be familiar, Freedom House downgraded India's rating from free to partly free in its 2021 report. And this trend of declining democracy is absolutely true for Uttar Pradesh as well. So the following speakers will be sharing the ways in which the Adityanath government has cracked down on protesters, journalists, and everyday citizens, even during the horrific COVID-19 crisis. I want to focus on one specific example of how UP's increasingly authoritarian government is affecting India as a whole, and that's through the recently passed so-called love jihad laws. Nearly 1 in 4 Indians live under recently passed love jihad laws, which target young interfaith Hindu-Muslim couples. The UP government justified this law as prohibiting so-called unlawful religious conversions, but in reality, these laws have led to mass arrests of young Muslim men and have empowered Hindu extremist groups to carry out attacks upon Muslims. A few states in India passed these laws earlier in 2018 and 2019, but it was really when Uttar Pradesh, this massive state, passed a love jihad law in November 2020 that set off a ripple effect across India. Inspired by UP's example, the neighboring state of Madhya Pradesh passed a similar law the following month. And as you can see, soon afterwards, state governments across the country in the south in Karnataka, east Assam, and west in Gujarat announced that they would be passing similar laws inspired by Uttar Pradesh. And actually, as of just yesterday, June 15th, a love jihad law went into effect in the state of Gujarat in the west. And this was directly inspired by the law that was passed in Uttar Pradesh. And so I want to just emphasize that this is just one way in which Uttar Pradesh's increasingly authoritarian government and the laws that it's passing are having a ripple effect that's threatening India's democracy and stability as a whole. So I want to just now conclude with a brief reminder of the stakes at hand from policy analyst Bhasha Singh, that if India has to be part of a global democratic counter to China, then the road chosen by Adityanath in Uttar Pradesh certainly doesn't lead there. Thank you.